Okay, good morning, traders. You should be able to see my screen now and hear me. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. The risk disclaimer: trading equities, futures, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so the goal of the webinar here is to introduce you to Bookmap. I see there's a lot of new traders in here, so welcome. So we're going to define what Bookmap is, who uses it, how to connect it to the various markets, how to subscribe to it, the various plans, and then we'll go over some of the educational resources for further information. There are several, and those are free, and then there is advanced education though. Okay, that comes with the Bookmap subscription. Okay, you've moved beyond basic platform information. Now you really want to dive into the order flow. Okay, there's a 4-part educational course that you get access to, and then we have advanced order flow webinars every day. Okay, at 11 a.m. Eastern. All right, we give a sneak peek on Friday. We give the link out in this webinar here for the next one, so you can check that out on Friday. Really go through the details there. That's really where the learning is going to take place. So just need to let you know that you get education on order flow with the software. Okay, so yeah, first half of this webinar, we go through some of these details here, and then the second half, we're going through basic order flow. Okay, defining the elements on the Bookmap chart so you know what you're reading, what you're looking at, how to get the advantage, and how to look at the basic order flow phenomena. Okay, that's, like I said, we start there, and then we really get into the advanced stuff in the next webinar. Okay, well, let's jump into the website and define what Bookmap is. Hold on just a moment. There we go. Okay, so here's the website. Scroll down a little bit. So what is Bookmap? All right, we are a software trading platform. Okay, we're not just like any other platform out there. We're not some sort of derivative of time, price, or volume. A lot of people think we are. We're not. We're displaying very, very objective, clear market data in a very unique way. That's where you're going to get your advantage using Bookmap. Okay, other software platforms out there, they're not displaying specific data that we are. Okay, so that's the edge that you're getting. All right, who uses Bookmap? Well, we're traders. We developed it actually for ourselves. We came from the quant environment with trading high frequency with our algos, and this was developed to visualize our trading activity. Okay, what occurred at sub-second levels. We started to note that this was pretty unique platform or way of visualizing the market, so we decided to make it into a platform. You're going to note, though, that for the sub-second levels, yeah, it's fantastic, but this works equally well on much higher time frames. Okay, and I'll show and demonstrate that and prove it, because you can look at if you're a swing trader, a scalper, day trader, even position traders, they want to understand what's going on in the order flow at specific areas. Okay, and we can zoom out, and you can now use your depth of market on much, much higher time frames because it's all recorded. Okay, very, very simply. All right, we'll continue on. Connectivity. Okay, this is important. How to connect to the various markets. We connect to futures, US equities, and digital currencies. Digital currency data is free, so you won't need to provide that, but we are a software trading platform. Okay, we're not a broker, we're not a data provider. Okay, so you will need to provide the data for futures and US equities. So connecting US equities is through DX feed. So if you're an equities trader, first you need to subscribe to Bookmap, and then you need to subscribe to DX feed. Okay, that's the only method right now. For futures, you have a variety of methods for connecting. Rhythmic, CQG, Gain Capital, Transact, IQ Feed, Nanotick, and Cedro. Okay, you can also connect via the API of TT, Xtrader Pro, Ninja 7 and 8, and Interactive Brokers Traders Workstation. Let's continue on. All right, pricing and packages. Okay, you can subscribe monthly if you click here, yearly with a 20% discount, or for lifetime, and you can see the prices are reflected when you click on the link here. Let's go over the monthly options. You can also see that there's a digital version and 2 global versions. Okay, digital version is free. It's a fully functioning copy of Bookmap. You get access to 1 digital currency. You also get delayed US equities data, and you can also replay a downloaded futures file. So if you just want a kind of introduction to Bookmap, then you can easily get it with this version here. However, if you want real-time data for futures and equities, then try Bookmap Global for a month. Okay, just it's 49 bucks. Connect up your data, give it a shot, and cancel at any time. Now, you can also try the Bookmap Global Plus. The big distinction between these two here are the add-on indicators. Okay, we have a large lot tracker, iceberg detector, imbalance indicators, correlation tracker, the ability to trade from the chart. All those functionalities are available with the Global Plus version. Okay, these are proprietary indicators that we developed to look at very specific order flow phenomena. Okay, they're not your typical indicators like RSI or MACD or stochastics. Okay, these are looking at specific order flow events like identifying iceberg orders. Okay, our algo can do that. Okay, let's go through a few more things. Some resources here. You can click on our blog, all sorts of great stuff here. You can see interviews with traders, information, as well as all sorts of materials and resources. Right. Also, our Twitter feed here. Haven't tweeted here for a little bit, but you can see all sorts of things here. You know, information, trades, retweets from other traders, interviews with traders, whatever. It's all here. And then our YouTube channel as well. This is a great resource for your furthering your education. There's some intro videos here on the front page. Pro Trader webinar series that we had in November. So if you want to check out that, how some of the professional traders use Bookmap. Then some intro videos, as I mentioned. Order flow education videos here. These you'll find helpful. Okay, they're very short and concise, but they go through order flow phenomena that we really cover in detail in the advanced order flow webinars. This is the edge you're going to get using Bookmap. Okay, and even traders who've been looking at and trading for decades, they may not know a lot of this kind of order flow phenomena. Okay, it's all visualized here in Bookmap, and it's transparent. Okay, we're really breaking down barriers here and offering you unparalleled level of transparencies. Okay. All right. Features and components playlist as well. All the different features if you want to understand how to use Bookmap. And then there's some selected webinars here as well if you want to check those out. All right. So that's that. Let's jump into Bookmap. And we're looking at the S&P E-mini. Okay. And we're going to first define the elements on this Bookmap chart so you know what you're looking at, because if you're new here, you're probably looking at this and thinking, I've never seen anything like it. It looks very confusing. It's very straightforward data and information, right? And I'll define each element here. There's only 3 elements on this Bookmap chart. It's the best bid and offer, both current and historical. These volume dots here is just the transactions that have taken place on that best bid and offer. And then we're showing the heat map. Okay, this heat map here, this orange, blue, yellow, whatever color heat map. This is the a recording of your depth of market. So you can see where traders are bidding and offering. Okay, seeing some really nice stuff here on this move to the downside. So I can't wait to check or go over some of this with you guys. We'll go through this, of course, in the advanced order flow webinar. But looks like a lot of absorption on the way down here. Okay, or at least the larger players getting filled on the way down. And that's looking pretty good here. We're back up to VWAP. This is a historical VWAP here and coming back down. I'm just getting way ahead of myself here. Let's close up some of these add-on indicators like our cumulative volume delta in the sub chart. Okay, and let's just go through these very simple elements on this Bookmap chart, so you know what you're looking at here. Yeah, we have a point of control indicator. We also have VWAP and our iceberg detector here. I'm going to turn all of those off. Okay. All right, in fact, we'll go through the candlestick example here. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a candlestick chart, 5-minute chart. We're gonna take off those 3 elements, okay? The volume, the heat map, which is where they're bidding and offering, and our best bid and offer, okay? And let's just compare with the candlestick chart. Okay? This is a 5-minute candlestick chart. We've been looking at this for decades, most of us. You can see open, high, low, and close of a 5-minute period. That's all you're getting. Only 4 data points here. Okay? That's really very, very opaque. And it's not allowing you insight to all sorts of important data and information. Okay? And we're making important trading decisions based on this information. Okay, so problem is that it's just aggregated data within a period. Okay, most of us, even if you're looking at a point and figure chart, a range bar, a volume bar, a time bar like this, or anything else, it doesn't matter. It's still aggregated data within a period. Okay? And that's a problem because once it's aggregated, you lose the details. Okay? What's going on inside this candlestick, for example, we have no clue. Okay? We have no clue where they're trading, where the volume is trading, how much, exactly where, and those are really important details to understand. Okay, even if you're looking at a footprint chart here, you would have the precise data on the candlestick or the bar. However, you're still closed off to all sorts of microstructure that leads to bigger moves, and we can easily break that down by just showing the first element on the Bookmap chart, and that is the historical and current best bid and offer. And that's it. That's about as simple as it can get. So we can zoom in here and we can start to look at this breakout here to the upside. Okay, right back down now to where we broke out from. Okay, so let's see if the bulls support this here, if they do, we're looking for a retest back up into this. Well, yeah, first would be here, probably around 92, 91, or 91.50, and then I'd be looking for back up into this kind of 94, 95 area. Right? But well, you can see what I'm talking about here, how we're breaking this down very simply with best bid and offer. Okay, we're starting to note areas of consolidation. Okay, here's a big one here. Right, and there's smaller ones as well. Here's a small one and then a break to the upside, and then we have another kind of bigger one here, right? And we're starting to develop one here as well. Okay, this is where price is accepting and going back and forth. You can see the breakdowns or breakouts as well, and start to understand what's going on in some of these areas. Okay, so we're looking at structure here. Okay, it's very easy to see now, that's where the candlestick is really lying to us here. We really can't see some of the details here. And that insight to the details leads to these bigger moves. So the next element, let's put on the volume here. Okay? And there we go. So looking for, in this case, it's looking pretty even here. I was looking for really big volume dots here on the buy side, and we do see it pick up for sure. On this move here to the upside. Right? And also in this area here, starting to see it a little bit, starting to note who's in control in some of these areas. Let's zoom into this little breakout area here. Okay, and this breakdown looks pretty good too. Anyway, this is starting to understand like with the volume where it's transacting. Okay, very precisely here, in fact, and within structure. Okay, so look at this move right here, right? And this is nice. You can see here's where the sellers came in, okay? And let's take the candle off for just a moment. Okay, well, you can see the red dots here. These are aggressive market sell orders, okay? They're hitting the bid and they're moving price down. Well, we find buyers and move it right back up to where we dropped from. We get a retest down here, and look at the selling down at this little point here. Okay, this is a double bottom. Okay, starting to understand these patterns, you're gonna understand these now in terms of order flow and how they are created, not just because it's a double bottom. Okay? This is really what occurred. Buyers come back in and look at the retest down here and lack of selling. Okay, we do see some selling down here, very little though. Okay, very, very little. We can zoom in and we can look at these details here. 28 contracts traded down here. That was it. Okay, so now we're looking at these two elements on this Bookmap chart. Very simple data, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, this is not complex at all. We're looking at the best offer is the red line and the best bid is the green line. That's it. Okay, the volume that transacted on that best bid and offer. An aggressive market buy order crosses the spread and takes liquidity off of the best offer, and a green dot paints here. Okay, we're looking at everything, how it unfolded, right? When we can see the aggressive sellers here on the bid, and the bigger the dot, obviously the more volume that traded. So we can use this data tip tool and hover over these little areas. You can see this is for a volume of 1, and then this bigger dot here is for a volume of 135. Okay, so on that fourth line of text here. Let's zoom in here because I want to show you the details. As I mentioned earlier, we came from that HFT environment. Okay, this is what we were looking at to really understand how we were getting filled. Note how we start to really pull apart the timeline, and we can see all these details. Okay, this is really what occurred and unfolded in this market. Okay, and that kind of insight. Well, if you're trading at the the microsecond level, like a timeline down here, looking at millions of seconds, this can be really helpful. If you're not, you can zoom out and look how we're displaying it as a bigger dot. And we can continue to zoom out and we can see the bigger dots. In fact, in some points, you can see this pie display of the volume. It's showing that the majority of it is buying, but this happens so quickly that we have to show the selling as well for this bigger one here. The one on top of it is for a volume of 40, and there's a little more selling than there is buying, or quite a bit more selling than there is buying. Okay. Anyway, let's zoom out. Okay. Now we're getting the details here, and well, we see the selling down here. We see the lack of selling. It doesn't even make a lower low. Okay. So well, we find buyers. Where do they really pick it up? They pick it up in this area here, okay, and they start to move it up. Right? So buyers are now starting to take control in this area here. Beautiful stuff here. This is in our education. Look at the retests here. Okay, here and here. Right? Well, if we can get back up, we can find more buyers. We're coming back up to the top of this range, and that's exactly where it went. Okay? Another retest here, and now we're starting to see a trend reversal. Okay? In this time frame, you can see the buyers here, here, and here. And look at the kind of exhaustion and these higher lows. We're not seeing a lot of volume trade here, okay, or sellers. Okay, so we're looking for more buyers to step in, and they certainly do up here. And then looking for this to continue further, okay, until we find another reversal point and a lack of buying. Okay, so now you understand these two elements on the Bookmap chart. Okay, pretty straightforward data, but look at the insight that we're getting here. Right, so starting to understand volume on that sub-second level, or not sub-second level. I mean, we're looking at 5 minutes of data here, right? But we're still reading it quite well, and then looking and anticipating for these moves to unfold. This is exactly what we do in the advanced webinar. All right, so anyway, that's the volume. Now we're going to add on the third element on the Bookmap chart, and this is the one that actually gives the most insight using Bookmap, because we all understand volume pretty well, and best bid and offer. Okay, so we're going to add the heat map on. Okay, and we're going to define what this is and what it's showing us. All right. Well, we see the breakdown here. This is another phenomena that we have to see this. There has to be big volume for it to break down below this area here. Okay, and they are. We can see it. Right, so looking for actually the next level here to trade into this kind of 79 level and this high liquidity here. So let's define what this is. Okay, this orange area here. Okay, this is just liquidity. It's where they're bidding here. They want to be buyers. So this vertical white line here, separates the historical market to the left and the current market here to the right. So this is our current best bid and offer. This is our last traded volume, this number here. This is our price ladder here, as you can see. And we're going to cover the COB column. It stands for current order book. This is your depth of market, okay, your DOM. If you are familiar with a DOM, we're showing the same details here. It's just contracts where they're bidding and offering. Up above price, this is where they want to be sellers and they're offering. Down below is where they want to be buyers. Now, in Bookmap, we're taking these numerical values here and painting them in the heat map in this current market window. So areas of very high liquidity, you can see, are red. Okay, and then the next level is orange, and then less is yellow. Okay, scale of the heat maps at the top of the chart in the center here. From red, orange is high, and then on down until gray and black as being very low liquidity. Right. So what that allows us to do is start to gauge the interest here. When the numbers change, the heat map changes. But what we do in Bookmap that gives you really the insight here is we project it onto the chart historically. Okay, that's all it is liquidity recorded. But this allows us to start to read the auction, okay, and start to understand intent of traders in these levels. So for example, look at these guys up here. It looks like they wanted to be buyers. As price starts coming down toward them, they're pulling their liquidity. They don't want to be buyers. Okay? So now we know. And then price can easily break down below that. If they don't find buyers and they find more sellers hitting the bid, they can easily move price and sweep the book lower. Okay. Now let's find an area where high liquidity actually does transact. Okay, let's zoom into this area here. Okay, and you can see some of it pulled here, but it's trading into high liquidity. Okay, a lot of it pulled actually. But on the other hand, we also know that we see the big transactions here, 300 traded, and I also know the liquidity level over here. It was about 400 contracts. Okay, so about 100 of them actually pulled. Okay, but about 300 of them traded. Okay, so now we know that that's fact. That's just how it is. Here, they definitely stayed in the book here at this point, no question about it. Okay? This is what it looks like when they have the intent to trade. You see the transactions taking place into high area of liquidity. Okay? So a lot of traders will shy away from the DOM because especially in the algorithmic environment, all of these numbers here, there's no meaning, there's no context to them because they're always changing very, very quickly. And so a lot of traders think that it's all kind of fake liquidity, and it's just not true. Okay? Well, we know exactly what traded and what was pulled. Okay? Now, we're starting to understand what's going on in this current market here and recent historical market. Okay? We're looking for them to trade down into this higher area of liquidity down around this 79 level. Okay? And we'll see if they hit the bid one more time here. I'm just kind of going sideways here for the moment. All right, but that's just the recent historical market, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, we came from that high frequency environment, but being able to record all of this data and then zoom out allows you to use it on much higher time frames. Okay, this is the entire day here. Here's the cash session at 9:30, and I have some pre-market data as well. We already knew where the buyers were before the cash session. Okay? And it traded right into them down into these areas here. So let's verify and see if they stayed in the book here. Yeah, looks like they did. 400 contracts there traded, and that's, so we know larger players are interested and they're trading, okay? They're long, right? In this area too, 575. Okay, so, but there's still more selling, so that trades through these areas. It doesn't mean it's going to bounce. It just means that we're identifying where larger traders are positioned. Okay, we know that. Okay, this area as well. Okay, so I mean that's great information to see here. Looking to see if we can go down a little bit lower here, and then at some point, because we know these guys are have layered into the bid and are getting filled. Okay, if we can go down a little bit lower and let's see if they can continue to maybe squeeze some long traders out as we continue to the downside, and then to see them continue to absorb here with their limit orders. Right, and then maybe see if we can get back up and find some buyers. And we're seeing a very unique pivot point right here. Okay, if we can get more buy volume above this area right here, okay, at 2785.5, and we're looking for big volume dots here on the buy side above that area, then you know, we have very high potential for coming back up and at least testing the swing up here. I'd be looking for this 27 or 2810 level as well, or before that I'd be looking at the cash high here around around the figure, basically, but around 2802. Okay, a lot of liquidity up here. They're still in the book, and this is all live. We have that full depth of market, so we can see exactly where they are. Anyway, that's Bookmap. Those are the three elements here. This is the kind of transparency that you're able to get. Now, if you're trading on much higher time frames, you can start to layer this information into your trading methodology. Okay, so start to understand where they're getting filled, how is this auction playing out, where are the transactions taking place, and then looking for specific scenarios to unfold, just like the one we just covered. Okay, about more volume above this kind of 85, 86 level right here. Okay, here's our move into that high liquidity that we already were anticipating, 79, and it's trading right into it. Okay, and it looks like they're definitely staying in the book here, no question about it. Almost 500 contracts here traded at 27.80. Okay, so let's see if we can go down, maybe test 78 now. Okay, maybe even 77, but I'm on the lookout here for buyers to step in. I'm looking for exhaustion here on the sell side, okay, a lack of trading, a lack of selling, and I'm looking for buyers to step in. And first move is actually even, you know, we can look at a kind of a micro move here. If we can get more buy volume above this 81.50 area right here, okay, I'm looking for 86 as being the next level, or 85, I should say. Anyway, let's wrap it up. We'll call it a day. Thanks for coming. If you guys are subscribers, we'll see you in the next webinar. It starts in just a minute. Okay, bye-bye.